Spotify. Cozy coffee shop jazz. Royal Tabac. Hey, Joel. Good to see you, brother. Zelgut. Zelgut. My scent of the day was Lalique White. That fragrance is slowly becoming a popular fragrance in my book. Performance is booty, but I don't give a rat's butt. I like it. Put on 15 sprays, put on another 15 after work, and be done with the bottle in less than 2 months. I don't care. That fragrance is nice. I can't quite confirm that, but for me, when I think about all the components to what I would call, for lack of better words, just a fresh fragrance, you know, when you break out the pie chart and you think about linen-based fragrances, floral-based fragrances, earthy-based fragrances, aquatic-based fragrances, aromatic herbal-based fragrances. You think about all those categories. Lalique White, for me, it checks like a bunch of those boxes. Whereas like typically with like just a really clean-cut fragrance, and I'm not talking fougere, I'm talking literally a clean fragrance, they only check like 2 boxes, you know, linen, touch of floral, aquatic, touch of earthiness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very narrow. Lalique White literally has the linen quality, the soap quality to it, like the Lever 2000 Irish Spring, like zesty, like limey citric bounce, but it's so light and airy you don't even really get a lime note. You just kind of get like a zesty clean. Then it checks off like touch floral, but almost nothing of floral to speak of. It just adds like a freshness. And then on top of all that, so it's got like slight lime, slight aquatic, slight linen, and then it just goes straight pepper. And I'm normally not this big of a fan of pepper, but like it is just like 2 or 3 different pepper-based spices. You know, it's almost like peppercorn, white pepper, and like spice. And it's just like this spritz. So it's like, it's clean, it's soapy, it's zesty, it's bright, and it's got this like spritz of pepper, but it doesn't smell like pepper. It just is like this invigorating, like as soon as you put your nose to it, it like gets your attention. To me, it's one of the most, to me right now in my collection, it is the best clean fragrance available. Again, clean fragrance. I'm not talking citrus aquatic. I'm not talking earthy. I'm talking every category of clean. You want to smell the cleanest and crispest while having signature. That's another problem with clean fragrances. There's no signature to speak of. To me, this checks multiple boxes, so you get a much more complex fragrance in that category while still being super light. And then on top of that, it's extremely signature. I just love it. I can't confirm if it's close to Galloway because for some reason I haven't put my nose to that. I felt like I smelled everything in the PDM space, but apparently I haven't because that one I didn't come across. But even if it did smell like Galloway, it's like 80% cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me answer some questions. I see people starting to flood in here. Sorry, guys. What up, Amusement? Hey, what's up there? Good red tobacco clone that smells like Prada Ocean Le Parfum. Dude, honestly, nothing smells like Prada Ocean Le Parfum. Like, the only red tobacco fragrance clone that you can get smells like Mancera's red tobacco, and I hate red tobacco. And the day I knew I really hated red tobacco from Mancera was when I smelled Prada Ocean Le Parfum, because that fragrance is the exact same DNA, but done so much more beautiful, so less synthetic. So, unfortunately, there's not a clone of Prada. But I think that fragrance is worth all the money in the world. In that category of red tobacco, it is worlds above any fragrance in its category. The clones of Mancera's red tobacco are all like 90% accurate, but the DNA is trash. I just find red tobacco sexy as the one... I just find red tobacco sexy as the one EDP. Okay, so you think red tobacco is just as sexy as Dolce & Gabbana's the one? No way in hell. No way in hell. Again, I'm not saying this to oppose you, but it's really important as a man when we think about what sexy is, we try to think about it from the female's perspective. Because a lot of times we be thinking we smell sexy and a woman's like, you smell good, but you don't smell sexy. I can't tell you how many times like a fragrance in a fragrance battle, the fragrance that the man chooses is actually not the one that the woman likes more. So for me, red tobacco is like a DNA that, trust me, plenty of women online say that red tobacco is good. In person, I've never seen a single woman compliment red tobacco on any of my friends, and I got a lot of friends that wear red tobacco. I've worn red tobacco. Yeah. Fragrant, like chick fragrance reviewers love it, but I just don't see anybody in the real world, female. Now, men love it, so I can't really say much. And then at the end of the day, you might not be into women, so... But yeah, it's not touching the one EDP. You put red tobacco and the one EDP in a fragrance battle, and the one is going to scoop up every vote, every single vote. But, sometimes I'm a minority in my opinion. I'm not the Lord of Fragrance. I say that all the time. Just joined. Which frag are you talking about? I was earlier talking about Lalique White, which is this fragrance right here. This right here is absolute gas. This is better than Banana Republic 90 Pure White. It's better than Coach for Men. It's better than Coach Platinum. It's better than Coach Open Road. It's better than any Banana Republic clean fragrance like Linen Vetiver, 90 Pure White, Cypress Cedar. It's better than Mont Blanc Starwalker. It's better than Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. What other linen fragrances do we have? I don't know, but that's plenty right there for me to say, like, Again, the only thing about this fragrance that sucks is performance, but I really don't freaking care. The DNA that you get from this, is so special to me in the clean category that clean fragrances don't have signature. That's the problem. They're not, most signature fragrances are most clean fragrances, and when I say clean, I mean linen, light white florals, aquatics, earthy, green. Most of those fragrances don't have signature. This fragrance has signature, and it dances in a couple categories. It dances in pepper spice, clean linen, green, citric, linen, white floral, soapy. It just has like, it's a flavor bomb of clean, crisp, office safe, super good casual fragrance to smell expensive. I don't care that I have to spray this 10, 15 times on myself. I don't care. I'm gonna spray myself 10 times in the morning, 10 times when I get off work. This is good, and the dry down is even better. The opening is so good, but it dries down even smoother. It's nuts. 20, 25 bucks. If you're looking for a clean fragrance that you can multi-purpose office and errands, you won't find a more signature fragrance than this under the $50 price point, in my opinion. This is liquid gold. And it blows my mind that on most people's top 10 Lalique fragrances, this is always number 8, 9, or 10. I get it, because there's other bangers from Lalique, but bro, put some respect on Lalique White, man. Put some freaking respect. And on top of that, let me say this. This fragrance isn't getting enough love either. Lalique White and Black. Bro, Joel, I don't know if you're in here or not, Joel and Greenlee. Oh, y'all are. Okay. Yo, I'm sorry to say it, guys, but you heard it here first. Lalique White and Black is not only better than Detour Noir, but it is better than Leighton. I'm sorry. It's freaking better than Leighton. Leighton, for some reason, the sweetness in Leighton at times feels synthetic. If Leighton is Kool-Aid, this is an organic juice. It just smells like Leighton, but more natural. It's like Leighton organic. And because of that, it's a little bit less performance. I think Leighton's like 10, 12 hours plus or whatever. This might be close. Oh, shoot. This might be closer to like 8 hours, but I don't care. Again, a $25 fragrance that to me beats Leighton. It beats what it's inspired by. Well, I mean, I don't know if this fragrance is inspired by Leighton, but when you smell this, this is Leighton, like to a freaking T. Leighton smells like cherry chapstick to me. This is way fresher, but still has the projection, the sillage. Yo, that is you want to talk sexy? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me fly through and catch up here. What about Tom Ford Myrrh? It's okay. I don't think it's worth the price. Scent of the day started Lattafa, Najdia, Intense, ended up with Ferragamo Bright Leather. Nice, man. Yeah, man, listen, Bright Leather is not the moon and the stars, but it's not trying to be. It is one of the only leathers that you can rock in 120-degree heat and be so happy about it. The more you wear bright leather, the more it just makes you happy. It just, you almost forget you're wearing leather. It is just one of the best renderings of leather, period. I mean, is it ombre noir? Or is it ombre leather? No, not so much. But I would argue that in many cases, you would wear bright leather way more than ombre leather because ombre leather feels expensive, so it feels very occasion-based. I don't think you can wear ombre leather very casually unless you're just like a motorcycle rider or a cowboy type of guy, cigar type of guy. But bright leather is like upscale casual to semi-formal all day, every day, any season, any reason. Like I tell you guys, I have a friend who only buys niche, and I blind tested him on it, and he said he has to have that fragrance. So that was pretty dope. By the way, I'm buying a whole new shelf so I can bust out my entire fragrance collection. So tomorrow on my way home from the office, I'm buying like an 8-stack uh, descending slant shelf that's industrial. So it's got like a wood and metal industrial nut combo, for lack of better words. Nut combo is crazy. Um, it looks a lot like, can I zoom in on it? Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Okay, so if you look over there, these shelves, you see how they're kind of industrial? It's like metal on, reusable wood, plywood or whatever. It's kind of got that look, but a lot more, not quality, a lot more expensive. And it's gonna have tiers, so it's gonna be like 8 tiers, and I'm gonna put my entire collection on it, so that way when we go live, you guys just see like a floating descension of. I'm not gonna be able to bust out my entire collection, but most of my collection I'll be able to actually take from my bathroom, my utility set, this little display right here, all that. So that should be fun. Thursday scent of the day will be Amarud Oud After Dark. Okay. Appreciate you, Greenlee, for the references. Is Amir Celestial good signature? Does it have a harsh opening like Club de Nuit Intense Man? And can I wear it in a car full of people? Dude, let me tell you something, bro. You can wear Amir Celestial any freaking place you want. You can wear it in a bathtub. You can wear it to sleep. You can wear it in a car full of people. You can wear it on a bus. You can wear it in a limousine. You can wear it running errands. You can wear it on a date. You can wear it in a tux. I don't freaking care. You can wear Amir Celestial in any occasion you so choose. Top 3 best scents of 2024 without question. It is one of the only bottles in my collection. Not one of the, when I say one of the only, one of maybe 20 different fragrances in my collection that I would buy a new bottle every year just to stack up. I want 4 bottles of Amir Celestial in my collection over Ganymede. There's people in here that can attest to it, that have bought it. That fragrance is signature. That fragrance won't smell like anything in your collection. And it has the ability to have amazing sillage and projection while not being offensive. For some reason, it's like 4 feet of projection and sillage, so it's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if 4 people stood in front of you, it would go that far. But for some reason, it's an 8-hour plus fragrance, but it has a softness with its projection that's just so easy on the nose. The Amir Celestial for me will always be blind buy worthy. And I'll be really sad when they discontinue that fragrance because I feel like it's a DNA that people don't know what it is, so they don't buy it. And not enough people are talking about it, and not enough people are telling you that it's way better than Ganymede itself. It's better than the $400 or $500 fragrance it's inspired by. It doesn't smell like anything in your collection. It's $25, maybe even 20 at this point. I don't know why people are not hyping that fragrance up. That fragrance should sell just as much as Club de Nuit Intense Man. I'm sorry to say it. And by the way, for those of you who are still here who are interested in combos, I can confirm after yesterday that our Moth Prosciutto, right there, our Moth Prosciutto, when you combined it with La Lique à l'Extrême, is exactly a Ventus Absolute. Straight 1-to-1. I know I was hypothesizing on that yesterday and the day before or whatever, last time I was live, but I can confirm that fragrance smells incredible. So if you want like a lot of compliments for the fruitier side of it, because in and of itself, Prosciutto does rack in a ton of compliments. I got compliments from my wife, my mom, people at work, when I was out running errands. Compliments galore because it just pushes off skin. It probably 10 feet of projection. I'm not even kidding. But if you want it more mature and more woody, because that's what Peugeot lacks, is that like birch wood, throw Lalique Lalique's Encre Noir à l'Extrême under it, at a 1-to-1 ratio. Sometimes even a 2-to-1 ratio. It just depends kind of how woody you want to go with it. But it's a Ventus Absolute, like spot freaking on for me. So I'm co-signing that. Dude, I'm finding that this fragrance right here, not only is it better than Chanel Sycamore. I mean, look at how much juice is gone. And it's not even this much juice gone from just wearing this by itself. All this juice is gone because it layers so well with anything. You have a sweet fragrance you need to tone down and make mature, put this under it. You have a citric fragrance that you want to have more earthy balance because it's just over the top like a Tigar or an Imagination, put this under it. You have a what's the other? You have like a green fragrance that you want to feel either less synthetic or less like bright sweet green. You want to tone that down. You put this under it. You have any pineapple fragrance that you want to feel more Aventus-y, truthfully, you put this under it. You want Chanel Sycamore, but done better and more tastefully, you get this. I mean, it's sick. Like, I'm trying to find excuses of all the fragrances it's just woods. It's woods, amber, and warm resin. So it's such a linear DNA. It literally goes with everything. Like, I was putting on Black Orchid and putting just wood under it. Wood under Black Orchid. Black Orchid, chocolatey, velvety, dark sweet, mysterious. Floral orchid. That orchid really just pushes forward off of that chocolate and cacao and all that. You put wood under it, Lalique? Bro, oh my gosh. Like, dude, you want Tom Ford Grey Vetiver EDP to last double the longevity, which oftentimes is amazing if a fragrance as Tom Ford is, and I have it because I'll never not have it. You want Tom Ford Grey Vetiver EDP to push for, instead of 4 hours, to push for 8? Now, granted, this does change the fragrance. So if you wanted your Grey Vetiver to remain Grey Vetiver, you actually move to the brother fragrance of this, which you actually move to this fragrance right here. So if you don't want to lose the DNA and change it into a more masculine fragrance, you throw Encre Noir Sport under Grey Vetiver, and you will get your 8 to 10 hour longevity on a 1-to-1 ratio. Listen, man, guys, I am finding some of the sickest fragrance combos to date. Like, I'm blowing myself away at how many insane combos. Like, literally taking a fragrance that's already a 9 or a 10 and putting it at a 12. It's blowing my mind, dude. Here's another one. You take a fragrance like Encre Noir à l'Extrême and put it under like a real pansy boy toy type of fragrance, like excuse my language, I don't mean pansy. And when I say boy toy, I just say that because you guys will know what I mean. But like, you put it under something like Invictus Aqua, or like Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, or like Valentino Uomo Born in Roma, and you throw just resinous vetiver under it, dude, it just puts some balls under all those fragrances. And now it turns the fragrance into feeling like a $500 fragrance immediately. The perfumery on this bottle, I bought this last. The perfumery on this bottle is so slept on. It's opening up my mind in terms of what fragrances in my collection that I don't necessarily like, what they could become. I'm gonna show you guys one more combo. This is like 700 IQ level fragrance comboing here. And I know no one has ever thought of this in FragCom period. Watch this. Okay, you guys ready for this? Watch this. Okay, how many of you guys love like Coach Platinum or Coach for Men? What I love about that fragrance is one simple thing. Because they put vetiver in the base, Coach for Men, the original, beats out like any metallic, aquatic, or green fragrance in its price point, right? Coach for Men is just extremely like, you want like a really safe, sophisticated blind grab any season, any reason, any occasion. You can go class to casual, right? Coach for Men, right? But the reason why Coach for Men is just the tiniest step above a lot of fragrance in its category is because of the vetiver. The vetiver really gives it that sophistication and complexity that most fragrances that don't have it feel more generic. But watch this combo. You take a fragrance like this. This is discontinued. This is Banana Republic's Arctic Slate. It's essentially Invictus Aqua, okay? You take the Invictus Aqua, right? And what does it lack? It lacks vetiver. Matter of fact, let me see real quick. Let's see, Fragrantica Invictus Aqua. I just want to look real quick. Is there any vetiver to speak of in that fragrance? No. Grapefruit, sea notes, amberwood. Okay, so amber, citrus, aquatic. That's essentially what Arctic Slate is. This is discontinued, so that's why I think most people have never come across this combo. But right, watch this. We're gonna go 2 sprays of Arctic Slate, or Slate Arctic, which is, for purposes of this video, it's Invictus Aqua. Okay? Not a lot of nuts in this fragrance, but it's a fresh, slightly citric aquatic. Cool. It's inoffensive, easy wear, right? You want to turn this into like a $200, $300 fragrance immediately. Now we put 1 spray of Encre Noir a la Extreme on it. If you want something slightly safer, you can throw Encre Noir Sport, which is a more grapefruit, soapy green vetiver. This is a woody vetiver. So I'm going to do one of that, and then I'm going to do one more combo. So we did 2 sprays of this, 1 spray of Encre Noir a la Extreme to just give it a lot of nuts, you know, masculinity. And then we're going to do another test strip and go 2 sprays of Slate Arctic, and then we're going to go 1 spray of Encre Noir Sport. So now we're not really going woody vetiver. We're going more soapy, green, bitter vetiver. So now you take essentially a cheap, generic designer citric aquatic metallic, right? And you just put balls under it. This is a lot of nuts under it, you know, a la Extreme. Dude, you put nuts under this, now we're talking Coach. Now we're talking more Coach, a cross between Coach and Invictus Aqua. It's a little more woodier, sure. So you might have to go 3 to 1. So my call here, and this is my hypothesis, I'll confirm it in a future video, but my hypothesis is a 3 to 1 ratio, 1 spray of a la Extreme on the base, and then on top of it, you put 3 sprays of Arctic Slate or Invictus Aqua, or Halloween Man Purple Bottle, any of those type of fragrances. This one is crazy. Encre Noir Sport under it, same ratio. I think you're going to have to go 3-to-1. And now you get basically, it's almost like Invictus Aqua meets Invictus Aqua, Coach Platinum, and like Valentino Uomo. Again, $20 fragrances that when put under fragrances that don't have a lot of masculinity under them, they're male fragrances, but they're just light and airy, and you want them to have longer performance, and you want to give them a slight touch of sophistication. These are vetiver fragrances. It's just vetiver, really. They're like 80% vetiver only. Soapy, spritzy, bitter green vetiver, straight resinous redwood vetiver. Game changer under my lighter fragrances. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick, so I'll stop blabbing. Oh, by the way, we're doing a comprehensive video on Lalique. I now own the entire line minus Indigo, which Indigo is a great fragrance. I just don't need it in my collection. We're going to be doing a hot takes 20-minute review on my top, we'll probably call it like a top 10 Lalique fragrances ranked. And it's going to be very difficult for me to rank them. But even with some of my lower ranked fragrances in that line, I'm going to tell you exactly why you should buy it, for what purpose, and really break it down. It'll probably be triple the thoroughness of the Perfume Guys Lalique ranking. Because I just have so much experience with that. But okay. What's up from Texas? Scent of the day, Latafa Assad. What up, Santana? Can't go wrong with Assad. I hated Assad when I first bought it. I let it macerate for 6 months. I still don't like it, but my wife absolutely loves it. So every now and then I bust it out and she absolutely loves it. Scent of the day, Argos Bacchio Immortal. That raspberry leather accord is just unbelievable. Hey man, when it comes to raspberry leather, bro, ombre leather is where I'm sticking. But raspberry leather is nice. What up, Max? Good to see you, brother. Bruno Herrera, let that Amir Celestial cool down maybe 10 minutes before getting in the car. Yeah, I mean, whenever you overspray, whenever you spray more than 5-6 times of any fragrance, really, you should stand outside for 30 seconds. If it's a loud fragrance. If it's not a loud fragrance, sit in your room and spray that and bathe in it for half a second. Really get it to soak into your skin. The darker your skin is, the more you need to spray, because your skin will just absorb way more materials. So keep that in mind. If you're melanated, you need to ramp up sprays heavy on almost anything, but especially on your more fresh fragrances. Joel's Matrix, never seen. Okay. Reference Lalique White and Black. By the way, you did say today live with the YouTuber Fragrance Fraternity. Okay. Yeah, man, still smelling it. Agree. Leather is a top note, very unique. I did get it at the open and mid, but now just fresh. What up, Yellow? In the bathtub. Is it true that Aventus new formula is weak and doesn't perform well? No. It might not perform well comparatively to its previous, but if you're referring to Aventus Absolute, it's the best Aventus to me personally. And you still get 8 to 10 hours of loud projection, sillage, and longevity. I don't think Aventus can ever be under 8 hours of a fragrance, including the clones. So for me, Aventus Absolute, if you have the money and money is no object, you need to have it. If you don't have the money and you want to still have it perform as a 10-hour plus fragrance, simply combine Armaf Peugeot with Lalique Ancre Noir à l'Extrême, and you will get a 1-to-1 clone of Aventus Absolute. But I do think Aventus Absolute is the better fragrance. It might underperform the previous by like an hour or two, but when you're talking 10 hours plus, who the hell cares? What's your opinion on Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue EDT Original? It's a good smell, but it's too weak. It's not very unique either. However, if you're gonna consider Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, like you smell it and you want to acquire that fragrance, please get the intense version. In and of itself, it's like a 3 to 4 hour projection fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense gets you more in the 6 to 8 hour range. So definitely get the Intense. A lot of people don't even know the Intense exists. What's your opinion on Oh, I had Ganymede and didn't like it. I don't like Ganymede either, but Amir Celestial ramps up the violet leaf, touch of powder, a lot sweeter. So it's not just this Ganymede. The problem with Ganymede is Ganymede stays mineralic, earthy, and just doesn't leave that arena. It's just an earth fragrance. Amir Celestial completely beautifies it by ramping up violet leaf and like a slight touch of powder and sweetness. It's almost like they took Ganymede and put one spray of Pegasus on top. But yeah, give Amir Celestial a shot. I think it'll completely change your mind about that DNA, and you'll get more performance out of the clone. Polarizing. Eternal Soul, not as good as Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, but still smells good. Yeah, definitely get Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense instead. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue EDT is essentially a complete waste of money, especially the fact that the fragrance has been out forever and it's still a costly fragrance. I think at Burlington, it still costs $40 for like 30 to 50 ml. That's absolutely unacceptable in today's market. What's your take on Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir? It's okay, 7 out of 10. But it is a good clone. I layered Amir Celestial with Liquid Brun today. I could see that working really well because like I've mixed Amir Celestial with Grand Soir, and I've mixed Amir Celestial with Gary's Den and 2011 Dior Homme Intense, and it was absolutely killer. So I can tell that with Liquid Brun, which I believe is a vanillic-based spices fragrance, you'll get the same kind of action. Is the Black Bottle Ancre Noir also good for layering? If you're referring to this fragrance, no. This is a fresher Leighton. It's better than Leighton to me, but I don't think the Leighton DNA needs any layering. In fact, it is so complex on its own that I think layering with this fragrance would simply ruin it. You know, this is in the realm of Instant Crush. What's another one? Amberful. The Vanilla Oud or whatever. It's just already good on its own. There's no reason to layer with this fragrance. It doesn't need to be elevated. It doesn't need more projection and sillage. You know, the performance is straight. This should just be rocked on its own. Is the Peugeot 1 is so good. I picked up a sample from Dillard's and it's spot on with better performance. I wouldn't say it's spot on. That's a bit of a reach. What's more spot on than Peugeot is this with Peugeot. Sorry, guys. You put this under Peugeot and you get Aventus Absolute. But, you know, Peugeot really is only 80 to 90% Aventus Absolute because there's not enough woods, smoky wood. It doesn't have the smokiness. It doesn't have the birch. Is heavy in the base. it's more fruity, which is why it gets so much compliments, because it leans closer in the realm of like Versace Eros energy, but better. So that's why you get so much compliments, because it's so loud, it's so projective, and it maintains that DNA. But in terms of like spot onness, it's truly at best like 85% close to Aventus Absolute. You have to put more birch under it to really get that thing to feel more masculine. But nonetheless, Prosciutto by itself is a killer fragrance. It's just more playful than Aventus Absolute. If you want to dress it up and you're going out on a nice dinner or something like that, you have to put woods under it. And that's where Lalique comes in. Best blind buy for the upcoming season with good performance. The upcoming season. Lalique Equus. Ferragamo Bright Leather. Halloween Man Shot. Latafa Sacrat. Fraghead's Asylum. Mancera Vetiver Sensual. Bentley for Men Black Edition. Aqua di Gio Armani. EDT. EDP. Musk Therapy from Initio, or Royal Oud Blanc from Paris Corner. Is it Paris Corner? Might be Fragrance World, actually. Amir Celestial. Afro Leather Maison Alhambra. Mahir Legacy Silver. Obviously Versace Eros EDT. And there's a ton of bangers for the upcoming season. Can't wait to get my Encre Noir a la Extreme tomorrow. I'm excited for you. Out the Shower rocking Perry Ellis Sky. Okay, Henry, I see you. Are those combos for cold weather? It really depends, because most of those woody-based combos are any season, any reason. Because if you put aquatics with wood under it, it's still an aquatic. It's just more mature. If you put it under Aventus DNA is any season, any reason. So yeah, I would say it's any season, any reason. But just remember to just do one spray, maybe two of Encre Noir a la Extreme, and then if you use Encre Noir Sport instead of a la Extreme, it certainly is any season, any reason, without question. What's your favorite Azzaro Versace Eros line? Versace Eros EDT, I think, is the best bang for your buck. Eros Parfum is the better smelling fragrance by 15%. Azzaro, the most wanted parfum, and wanted parfum is very nice. Invictus Parfum Mint Note Prominent, for sure. Yeah, I couldn't decide with Blue Eros or Flame. I think, Flame is basically uber fruity Aventus, more synthetic. So for me, I'm going with Prosciutto over Flame any day of the week, because you still get that fruitiness, but it's scaled down a little bit more complex. So that's why I would go with Eros EDT over anything, because for like $40, you get 100 ml for a designer fragrance that's the most complimented of all time in designer category. So that's me. Can I pull off Flame in the summer? Absolutely. I'm in Australia, and it's on the same here at the moment. Okay. Have you tried our Moth Hunter Intense? Yeah, it's a good fragrance, but I'd only give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's a little bit signature. It's a good clone. Good performance. It's solid. I actually give it an 8. 8 out of 10. I see you, Eternal. That's dope. I'm glad you got a nice signature for yourself. Anyone know what he would recommend for an everyday wear for school setting? Honestly, as a high school kid, you're not really going to go with a clean fragrance because you're still going to want to get compliments from chicks all day. So I would go with Halloween Man Purple Bottle. You could spend like 30 bucks online and get like 120 ml. You can even get a 200 ml for like 40 bucks, not even. Every day, any season, any reason fragrance. It's going to get a ton of compliments. Versace Eros EDT is going to get you a ton of compliments. High school, I would never recommend this to my fans, but for kids, Off Non 9 PM is going to pull you a ton of compliments, but it's going to be less any season, any reason because you're going to smell like an overly sweet bomb. If I were you in high school right now, I think 2 fragrances that will get you an insane amount of utility is Lattafa Sacrat and Versace Eros EDT, or Lattafa Sacrat and Halloween Man Purple Bottle. Yeah. I could recommend a lot more, but those is like, you spend 80 bucks, you get 2 fragrances at over 100 ml to 150 ml that you can do date night, casual, fresh out of PE, good morning fragrances, hanging out with your boys, hanging out at a party. You know what I'm saying? You got your everyday wear at school, and then you got the sweeter fragrance that you bust out from time to time to pull compliments like twice a week. Worst ever fragrance made in your opinion based off performance and price? I wouldn't really go off of price very much, but one of the worst fragrances, I don't think I actually have any worse fragrances in my collection because I spend so much time doing research. Probably Mancera Red Tobacco, and I know so many people in my chat are gonna kill me for saying that, but it just is what it is. Get Prada Luna Rosa Le Parfum if you like Mancera Red Tobacco, but don't spend 100 bucks on Mancera Red Tobacco. If you like it, you will be madly in love with Le Parfum from Prada. So that's just my opinion. I'm so glad you guys are in the chat talking together while I'm taking forever to answer questions. Thank you so much. Is Amir Celestial good for first date fragrance or rainy day fragrance? It's amazing for a rainy day fragrance. I would not rock it first date fragrance. First date fragrance needs to be sweet, dark, and seductive. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Like, sweet, dark, seductive, some really safe, blind grab go fragrances that are signature in that category is gonna be like Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Honestly, go with Gentleman Reserve Privé, man. You will blow the socks off of any chick that you're with on a date, but it's not going to be a good rainy day fragrance. Get Celestial for the rainy day, get Reserve Privé to get that play, and hopefully you know what I mean. I feel Ganymede has that 90s DNA. When I think 90s, I think Fougere, and Ganymede's not a Fougere at all. Maybe it's old school in the fact that it's more earthy rather than fruity. It's not sweet, but I think it's a timelessly unique DNA. But again, I think after smelling Amir Celestial, Ganymede can take a hike. Anyone have any mature smelling fragrances? Absolutely we do. YSLY or Dylan Blue? Dylan Blue every day of the week. Or Eros. Eros, EDT over all those. What's the best advice you could give to people that are barely getting into fragrances? Get on YouTube. Get on YouTube. Also, another great advice, get into Sephora. Get into Ulta Beauty. Get into your fragrance stores that have stuff on display so you can start testing your nose. Put your nose to every fragrance you possibly can to wrap your mind around all the most used DNAs out right now, which is like aquatics, aquatic citruses, citrus dark seductive, fruity, zesty, earthy, fougere, dark, vanillic bright, spicy. Get your nose on all those DNAs and start seeing what you're really attracted to. So that way, when you start looking into fragrances, write down every single fragrance that you like and then hit your butt over to fragrantica.com. And if, say, you like Gentleman Reserve Privé, go find Privé and then look on the bottom. It'll say, if you like Privé, you will love these fragrances. Look at some of the other fragrances that are recommended in association to it and just start exploring all the fragrances in the realm of designer fragrances that you love. And from there, you can start to use YouTube reviews as well as Fragrantica, as well as putting your nose on stuff. You have to put your nose on stuff to really start your fragrance journey because you don't even know what you like. And if you don't know what you like, you're going to start wasting a lot of money listening to other people's opinions on what you should get. And that's the worst thing you can do in fragrance, especially starting off, because all it takes is a couple bad fragrance purchases to be like, man, I don't want to waste any more money. I want a cheap frag for each season, but most of all, most, if not all, frags that he's saying are not available in stores. That's false. Almost every single fragrance I recommended is available in stores. I mean, cheap frags for any season. Lalique White and Black, Lalique White, Versace Eros EDT, Ferragamo Bright Leather, Halloween Man Purple Bottle, Off Non-Supremacy in Heaven, Latafa Sakrat, Royal Oud Blanc from Fragrance World, Bentley for Men Black Edition, Mercedes-Benz Intense, anything from Acqua di Gio. I mean, these are all fragrances that are literally on Amazon. What do you think the best Calvin Klein is? Probably CK Defy or CK Summer Breeze. It's a flanker. I'm worried I won't like them, but then again, they are cheap, so I won't get Buyer's Guild. Exactly. What up, Trey? What up, Trey? Got to tap in with one of the greater... Hey, I appreciate you, Trey. Y'all go tap into Trey Fragrance, man. Y'all go tap in. Boy's working hard. Go reward him. Go reward him with some follows. Screenshot Trey Fragrance in the chat so you can go look him up on YouTube, man. Give him some love. Tell him I sent you. Where I'm at, I haven't seen them. Thanks. Okay. Oh, we got to the bottom. Nice. I am at the bottom of chat. Let's go scent bubble. What other questions y'all got, man, before I sign off, man? What else y'all got for me? Again, we got a brand new shelf being installed in here tomorrow. In fact, I might go live while I build it. And then I'm breaking out almost the whole collection. So we're gonna be popping out with bottles. Bottles on top of bottles on top of bottles. Y'all think that's a big collection? Wait till I bust out everything. What is a higher quality Mercedes or Bentley? Oh, what's higher quality, Bentley or Mercedes? Bentley has more bangers than Mercedes, but they're both equal quality. All love, Brody. Just ordered that Ferragamo Bright Leather. Well, you had to, right? You're overdue for some Ferragamo Bright Leather. Go watch the live I did today with Fragrance Fraternity. Sorry, Scent Bubble, self-promoting. That's all right, Joel. You can self-promote any day of the week. In fact, I'm going to screenshot that because when I'm in my office tomorrow, I'm going to watch it. The best CK, in my opinion, is Euphoria Amber Gold for Men by Calvin Klein. I can see that. Yeah, for me, it's CK Defy. CK Defy and Summer Breeze 2002 or 2012 or 2022, one of those two twos. What's your opinion on American Eagle fragrances? Booty. Fruit of the Loom. Lucky Charms. Marshmallow Mateys. Booty. Speaking of Cool Water, did y'all know Cool Water has a new fragrance coming out? Cool Water has a new fragrance coming out. It might be Cool Water Parfum or something like that. Yeah, no, listen, Yellow, I'm not here to diss fragrance houses at all. But in the context of the bottles you see behind me, clone, inspire, designer, and niche, American Eagle is not holding a number 2 pencil to anything that you see behind me or over there. You know, none of it. You know, you got to think about it this way. When you go to Burlington or whatever, you're seeing that the sweet spot for a lot of fragrances in Ross, TJ Maxx, Burlington, Nordstrom Rack, Marshalls, a lot of these fragrances, the sweet spot price point is around $30. So for me, if you're asking me what I think about American Eagle, you're asking me what I think about fragrances that are $30 to $50. And for that price point, you can literally get any fragrance that you want in life. So American Eagle goes way to the bottom of the list because of that. You got to open your mind, Yellow. You got to open your mind, brother. Here's a great example of that, man. Go buy this. $25, 100 ml. You will wear this every single day of your life and thank me for it. Lalique, white in black. One example, okay? One example of a fragrance that will literally make you feel like you are wearing a $500 fragrance for $25. Go get that in your life, buddy. What about Bath and Body Works? Fruit of the Loom, Marshmallow Mateys, Cocoa Krispies, Kraft Singles, Ramen Noodles, Booty. Absolutely, Yellow. Anytime, buddy. Anytime. I'm here for you. I just recommended one fragrance because listen, man, buy that fragrance and then come back to the channel and give me your honest feedback. I want you to try this fragrance for $25 and I want you to wear it. And you're going to wear it all week. You're going to be addicted to it. And then I want you to come back in here and be like, yo, Scent Bubble, for $25, I can't believe I have such an expensive smelling designer fragrance that I've never heard of. Could you please recommend me another fragrance? And then I'm going to put you on another fragrance and another fragrance and another fragrance. I'm going to sound like DJ Khaled. Bath and Body Works, they got Mahogany Woods. Listen, man, Mahogany Woods is cool if you only shop at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Nordstrom Rack. Mahogany Woods can compete with a lot of fragrances in the discounters. But when you actually go and purchase a fragrance, a designer fragrance or a niche fragrance, and many of the clones, Mahogany Woods is not Mahogany Goods. I have Mahogany Woods. It's in my bathroom, under the sink in the cabinet. You know, you can drive out here and take it from me. I've only used it like 3 times. When I first bought it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best fragrance in Bath and Body Works. But then I realized that's all that it is. It's the best fragrance in Bath and Body Works only. Like the stream, guys. This guy deserves more reach. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Aurora. What up, Jag? What up, Jag? Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Bath and Body Works is not... Bath and Body Works is not fragrance. It's fragrant, but it's not fragrance. What we're talking about is tiers, levels. There's levels to this, right? And in the levels, Bath and Body Works is down here. I can name you 20 fragrances you can buy at any discounter at any time of the week that annihilate mahogany woods. Do you have your own fragrances? No, but in 2025, announcements coming soon. By the way, next week, you guys will hear the brand new Scent Bubble intro. And you'll get my sound effects. So check this out. Here, I'll tease you guys. So let me turn off the, here's some of the sound effects coming to the stream.
Perfect. Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway, so we got we got sound effects coming to all future broadcasts for when stuff is good or it's trash or it's recommendable. We also got, matter of fact, let me just show y'all the new Scent Bubble intro. Oh my bad. Sorry, guys. It's very brief. It's very brief because I don't want people listening to my intro all day long. But come on. There we go. So sick. Oh, shoot. Anyway, that was exclusive right there. And what we're going to do is every like month, I'm going to do 12 different Scent Bubble intros. We're going to have like a trap one, an acoustic guitar one, which that is a little bit of both. We're going to have a jazz one. I'm going to hit so many different genres, and we're going to have 12 different Scent Bubble intros. That way we alternate the intros every month. So it's going to be super fire. And then another thing we have coming to the channel is the Scent Bubble Members Only Club, which will allow you guys every month to take fragrances from my collection, all of them. Like any fragrance I have on my Fragrantica listing, every month you guys can get 5 mLs of whatever you want in my collection. And that's just that's just the basic tier. When you get in, you'll get exclusive like access to my Discord server. So I can give you guys all the latest like discounts and everything that I'm seeing. But then you also get 5 ml decants every month of anything from my collection. That's tier 1. There's going to be 3 tiers. So there's a lot of like killer stuff coming to the channel. MF Doom of the scent game. Hey, listen, man. I love me some MF Doom, man. I absolutely love me some MF Doom. I learned graffiti bumping MF Doom. I learned how to rap bumping MF Doom. Everything, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. R.I.P. MF Doom. Where's your bubble sound effect? Well, here's the thing. You guys didn't see the audio visual part of the intro. You only heard the music. Now, when you're in the scent bubble, there's bubbles flying all over the screen. It's really sick, man. You guys trust me, man. You guys will love it, dude. Take care, Trey. Peace, bro. You have great communication skills. Are you naturally like this? Yeah, I used to be a teacher. Can you give more info on the decant sample project coming up? Yeah, Jag, I just did. I can't give you guys tier 2 and tier 3 because number 1, I'm still adding features to them, and number 2, I want to actually have people be blown away by my announcement of it because it's going to be one of the most interactive things in FragCom. But tier 1, you'll be able to sample anything from my collection. So you'll have like 200 plus options of fragrances that you can have every month. So anything you see reviews of on the channel, you'll be able to have in your collection. And the entry for tier 1 is going to be very cheap. So essentially, the only thing you'd really be paying for is shipping. And you can get everything from niche to clone in my collection. And you get access to the Discord server, which will be like a bunch of fragrance heads in there. It's super dope. But as you move up in tiers, they have an insane amount of value. Trust me. Can you give me more info? Oh, well, obviously you are naturally like this, but you know what I mean? Yeah, I used to be a teacher, man. So I'm a hip hop artist. So I perform all the time. I speak all the time. That was a sample of Son of Preacher Man. Of course. How much will the Decant membership be? Can't tell you, but it will be insanely affordable. Insanely affordable. And what I can say is the value of the membership will be way more than the actual price. So the idea is that for tier 1, it will basically be cheaper than a Netflix basic account subscription. But the value will be insanely higher. And I'll actually do a price breakdown of the dollar amount of value you're getting for each tier versus the actual price of it. That's the goal with any membership program, is to give an overwhelming amount of value to overly justify the cost. So that way you guys know, man, for this amount of money, I'm getting this much stuff. It's a no-brainer if I'm interested. I don't care if people join the membership program or not. It's really not about that. It's just for people who struggle and don't do all the research that I do into fragrances. You guys, like, you know, from watching my channel, I live and eat and breathe fragrance. So if you're the type of guy that you're in a season of life where you just don't have the time and you're seeing my reviews and you're seeing stuff that you're interested in, I want you to be able to actually get that every month in your collection. And so that way you never have to blind buy fragrance. And like, I'm going to be selling layering combos. I'm not going to give any more away after this because you guys are pressing me, but essentially any of the layering combos I put together, you guys will be able to order as well. So like when I tell you guys, oh my gosh, when you take Tom Ford Black Orchid and you throw woods under it, it completely changes the fragrance. I will decant you a ratioed combo of those two fragrances so you can actually try the combos, which is like unheard of. No one does that. So you'll be able to curate your whole experience as a member. You're still going to get all the value of the channel, whether you're a member or not. But in terms of like the interactive stuff, trust me, it's going to be unheard of. Some people need to learn and practice communication. Everybody does, including me. I think the best skill you can have as a human being is being able to communicate. Not just yourself, but communicate with people. You don't get any value out of life if you can't communicate yourself and communicate with other people. It's absolutely essential. Being a good communicator unlocks life. How many sprays would you recommend for the Club de Nuit Intense Man EDT for cold city weather? Bro, honestly, don't go over like 5 or 6. If you're outside a lot, like 6. If you're indoors but it's cold weather outside, 4 to 6 is plenty. Jay Smooth, please consider Mahogany Woods going for 28 before the 200 one. I never recommended a 200 one. Oh, you're talking about something else. There's a lot of clones of Mahogany Woods as well. I mean, it's crazy that somebody would want to clone Mahogany Woods because it's so cheap anyway, but you know, and in my opinion, you should never buy the Mahogany Woods fragrance. You should only buy the lotion. The lotion is going to get you the most play. Get Mahogany Woods, the lotion, and you are straight. You don't even need the fragrance. The fragrance is way weaker than the lotion. Max sprays for OG Aventus. I'm a heavy sprayer. You guys know me. I'm a heavy sprayer. But when it comes to Aventus, I ain't going over 6. Ever. Yeah, the Discord server is going to be insane. If it's affordable, I'm going to need that membership. I can guarantee you it will be more than affordable. Tier 1 at least. Tier 2 and Tier 3 are going to be so extensive, they're going to have a hefty price tag. And it's not going to be insane. It's still going to be reasonably comparative to all the other channels. But, you know, when you look at most fragrance channels, I don't care what it is, Gentsense, Perfume Guy, Bowtie, any of these guys, their memberships only include exclusive content. To me, my channel is exclusive content. I'm never going to withhold a fragrance episode from the people. Ever. And exclusive content is free. It should always be free. When you guys see, like Monday is a great example. Monday came around, I said, you know what, guys? I love the people who rock with my channel. I'm going to post 2 episodes today and 2 shorts and 2 community posts. So I posted 6 pieces of content. Now, I could have very well just did my regular 1 post a day, which is still more than most channels, and kept all 5 of those other pieces of content for exclusive content. But to me, making people pay for more episodes is absolutely ridiculous. It's just people's way of extracting value from the audience for virtually no work at all. For me, you need to actually get something concrete. When I tell you guys the amount of things that are going to come with each membership, it's going to feel like freaking Christmas, guys. You're going to be like, you're going to be able to get so much value for the cost of a pack of cigarettes. It's going to be insane. Have you tried it, Latafa Assad bourbon? No, but a lot of people are saying good things about it. But I got to be honest with you, man. I'm done with I'm done with Assad. I'm done with the whole Assad line. I like Zanzibar. I have Zanzibar. I like Assad. I have Assad. But I've put my nose to so many things now that I see what Assad is doing, and they're being very similar to Armaf in the Club de Nuit line, and I'm just a little tired of it. I'm ready to move on. I'm convinced that Assad is no longer going to show us anything special at all. They're just going to give us 8 out of 10 fragrances or 7 out of 10 average fragrances that smell good, but they don't blow your socks off, and it's cool to have and say you bought it, but they're not going to be anything that when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to be excited about. A lot of people love bourbon for like a month, and then it's just like sits on the shelf. And it's because so many things smell like it, it's not even funny. So for me, that's my take on it. I'm kind of just done with the Assad line. I appreciate you, Johnny. Thank you. Yeah, man, trust me. Like I said, that's the whole purpose of the memberships is going to be to, number one, bring you guys as much value as humanly possible outside of videos. None of my tiers will be exclusive content. I'm not doing that stuff. It's booty. It's cheesy. You're not going to get extra videos of my channels or like early access to videos. Everybody on my channel for free will always get my content, and my exclusive content is my content. It's not exclusive. Any exclusive idea that I have, everybody gets that content. You're not going to pay. This isn't Netflix, okay? When you get a membership, you will get something physical and material. You will get decants. You will get access to servers. If you want to talk to me on a personal level for me to evaluate your collection, well, see, now I'm giving you guys more features for the memberships. I got to stop talking. But listen, you will not see any of the benefits of any of my memberships on any other fragrance channel in the world. I promise you. I put so much thought into this, guys. I've put so much thought into how these memberships can just be like so different from anybody else's experience. And they're going to be explicit to fragrance, explicit to improving your journey or making things super convenient for you or giving you direct access to me. Like it's going to be so worth it. Trust me, guys. Watch my videos every day and just see what my channel is about. And times that by 50, and that's what the memberships will be. Trust me. What do you think about Calvin Klein Eternity and Cool Water? Lay's plain chips. Ginger snaps. Lemon tea. Subway. Mayonnaise. Booty. Check out Ignite Oud by Ahmed. Okay. I'll screenshot that. What's your opinion on Lattafa Jasur and Liam Gray? I really like Liam Gray, but it is very feminine leaning, so I would get something like Tom Ford's Oud Wood or Woody Oud to put in combo with Liam Gray to really make it smell masculine. But it's a very unique fragrance. It's for somebody who wants to be insanely unique, but you gotta have that masculinity added back to the fragrance because it is strongly feminine leaning, more so than Angel Share, because it's almost entirely florals, and that fig note really makes it smell like sweet flowers. For those of you who have never smelled Liam Gray, it smells 1-to-1 identical with Replica's Jazz Club. By the way, we're going to sign off in a couple of minutes here, guys. What are some masculine blue fragrances under $60? Dylan Blue, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit Blue, Francisco Rodriguez or Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Le Parfum. It's not considered a blue fragrance, but I call it a blue fragrance. Fragheads Asylum from FOMO. Club de Nuit Iconic. Versace Eros EDT. Banana Republic Arctic Slate. Banana Republic Slate. Nautica Voyage. Rasasi Hawass. Carolina Herrera Cobalt. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Hopefully that's helpful. Best rose fragrance for men. Atomic Rose from Initio. I would be a cheater and say Portrait of a Lady by Frederick Malle, but after smelling it, I have to say no. Atomic Rose from Initio. Oud Satin Mood is a close second, but it's a bit dense. It's very dense, very situational, whereas Atomic Rose has a lot more use case. And I'm assuming when you say rose fragrance, you mean a rose fragrance that truly is a rose fragrance. If we're talking about fragrances that have rose mixed in them but are about other accords, then don't listen to me. But if you're talking about a fragrance that entirely smells like rose, then it's Atomic Rose from Initio. Trey Fragrance hit 125,000 views. Good, he deserves it. Scent Bubble channel is sitting at approximately 700,000 views in 120-day span. So we're talking 4 months. So the channel's doing really good. Despite only having like 1,600 subscribers, we're already about to hit our first million, probably at the end of March, easily. Trey deserves more, though. Have you ever tried any of the Distillery Series frags? No, I haven't. Clone brand frag that is mainly animalic. Latafa, Atlas, and Toscano Leather by Maison Alhambra. Yeah, start there. What up, Novice? Hey, we grinding out here, Novice. Hey, when you coming, when you spinning the block, Novice, I got some stuff I gotta run by you, bro. Everybody follow the Novice Nose right now. If you like the scent bubble, you will love the Novice Nose. That was good. Now Obsession. Okay. Do you know any Jean-Paul Lamal Elixir clones? Guys, help me out in the chat. You know me. I'm kind of like on the spectrum. So I know a lot of things, but my brain isn't, you know, I have glitches. Is it Kingdom Heart? Is it Latafa Kingdom or something like that? Or Lionheart? Which one of those is Lamal Elixir? Kingdom, thank you. And I think it's Latafa. Latafa Kingdom right now is, let's see, fragrance by Latafa Kingdom on fragrance by is 23.20. Kingdom is $25 right now. Very solid Lamal Elixir clone, but to me, if you love Lamal Elixir and you can find this fragrance, it's very difficult to find. I'm just gonna throw that out there. 120 ml. Get Halloween Man Shot. But Kingdom is very good. Kicks, what up? We got to get a collab. Been sick out, going to drop the new vids in about a week or so. Hey, listen, man, wait till y'all hear. Y'all missed the stream, man. I unveiled a lot of things. The creation of a brand new fragrance for this year. The membership program that's about to launch. The brand new Scent Bubble intro. A couple of new series that are coming out on this channel. And the new sound effects on the channel. The interactive sound effects. We're about to go crazy. About another month here is when it's all going to slowly start to creep in. Actually, no. Next week, it'll start to creep in. And then it'll overwhelmingly creep in by about April 1st. Those frags that smell weird and have strange accords. Definitely Tobacco Touch, Maison Alhambra, and Latafa Atlas to me have singular notes in them that are very strange. I don't know what it is, bro. Latafa Amethyst as well. Fragrance World's Resurrection, is it? Fascination. Fragrance World Fascination has some kind of note in it that is really challenging for me. Really unique DNA to Richwood. I think that's Zherzhov, right, guys? But there's some kind of note in my batch that is just not jiving with me. Obsession is, here's the thing, Smurf. Obsession is not worth breaking down. It's already broken down. It's such a simple fragrance. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not valuable to do that. I'm just going to keep it tall with you, bro. Don't buy it. In the realm of what we do over here, if you like obsession, hey, we ain't going to knock your journey, bro. Let your journey be your journey. Let your journey shine. Be confident in your journey. Be confident in your taste. There are OGs, maybe some of which are in here, that love obsession. In the context of what we're doing here at this very moment, there are so many better options. It's almost laughable. Later, Johnny, you have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Are you planning on doing a collab with Trey? Trey was on my show, and he did the first ever episode of Wheel of Fragrance episode, and he was actually on the channel twice. So if you go to my channel and type Trey Fragrance in the search, you'll find episodes with us on there. But we'll definitely have Trey come back on. But Trey has a weird schedule, so it's kind of hard to get him on in my style of episode because I'm only available in the evenings to shoot for the most part. But we'll absolutely get Trey on. I'd love to get Kix on. I'd love to get Joel on. Greenlee, I'd love to have you pop in. But listen, man, Greenlee, you have no business loving obsession with your collection. Do a meme right now. Take a picture of your collection and then take the white font, you know, for memes and put my favorite fragrance is obsession over top of the picture of your collection. and just see how that goes for you. Man freaking has over 20K in fragrances on his shelf, almost zero designer to speak of, and he's trying to give obsession some props right now. It's like Michael Jordan sitting in a YMCA talking about, no, Johnny's pretty good, man. He's solid. What's wrong with you? I was being nice saying 20K. You got well over 20K in fragrances. Ever tried Inexcusable Evil? I haven't, Stinky. What's it smell like? Trey Fragrance is a loving guy. I've been his mod for a while now, and he literally pays me with fragrances. Hey, listen, man. When you see the people I roll with, in FragCom, you know who they are in chat. They pop out, they show love, they shout out, they're on the channel or they're in the channel, and you'll know. I don't rock with anybody in FragCom who is not an amazing human being. Period. That's why my community is so cool. Everybody looks out. And this isn't unique to me, guys. This is everywhere. If you really look at a lot of channels under 1,000 subs, under 5,000 subs, the community is just fire. I don't bring anybody on my channel who is not super, super dope. I put everybody on. I'm one of those guys. I like to raise the tide. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm going to win because I know how to do YouTube. I got a lot of experience in marketing. The channel is going to continue to be successful and be good. I don't think about stuff like that because for me, this is like a passion project. But as my channel continues to do what I know it's going to do, I want to raise the tide and tell you guys about everybody who you need to know about who is putting in that pain and loving fragrance. And we're going to share fragrance, and we're going to talk fragrance, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to educate, and we're going to learn. And even if you're not a contributor to the channel, my community is still awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is very, very good people. So when you say Trey is great, I remember the first time I met Trey, I said, dude, give me your phone number right now. He didn't even know what to expect. He's like, you know, Trey's like, man, what are you doing talking to me? You know, Trey's like 20. I'm like, I'm 36. I'm basically his uncle. And I said, man, I just wanted to let you know you're doing your thing. Keep doing it. Focus on your grind. You know, we've done some life talks. You know, same thing with Chris Siage. He's a kid. You know, I've sent him fragrances. He was just looking at Lattafa's Atlas. I said, you know what? I'm not a big fan of that, but a lot of people really love Atlas. I'm gonna send it to you for like 15 bucks. You can have it. Fragrance goes for like 30, 40. Said, bro, let me save you some money. Here, take the bottle. I've only sprayed it one time. He's a kid. I'm like his uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we look out. Yeah, I got dudes, not necessarily my uncles, but my you know, close OGs in the space that we do the same thing. We talk fragrance. We tell each other, yo, you're dope. Keep doing what you do. Here, let me look out for you. Here, take this. You know, no, oh, try this. Y'all know who they are because I don't let none of them go unnoticed. Gator's a great example of this. Gator sent me more decants than bottles y'all have in y'all's collections for fun. He just wanted to see what I'd think. And I shout him out every single episode. I don't care how annoyed y'all get. Gator, this episode is provided by Gator. And when we do Kix's fragrances, this episode is provided by Kix. This episode, y'all see me drop Yaman Lail, the entire Yaman Lail. This is shout outs Greenlee. Shout him out at the beginning, shout him out at the middle, treat it like salt and pepper. We sprinkling all the homies on everything. It's just what we're gonna do. I could care less. I don't care. We are shouting fools out for being incredible human beings. And when the tide rises, I'm taking everybody with me. Because I know at the end of the day, we don't even care. We ain't trying to, you know what I mean? We just do it to do it. But like I said, I'm still, everybody eats. Everybody eats. That's the mentality in FragCom. Everybody eats. Whatever that looks like. Value, content, decants, education, friendship, community. Everybody eats. And that's always been my approach. That's why I run my channel like Gent Sense. I'm going to post more than anybody. I'm going to give more value than anybody because that's just how I feel about it. I'm trying to elevate the space. And everybody that I rock with does that. Nah. Listen, man, I'm not docking obsession, but you asked me to break it down. That's a different conversation, you know? That's like you saying, hey, man, you know, I'm 36. That's like you coming up to me and being like, yo, well, honestly, bro, tell me what you think about my grandma. No, man, like, tell me what you love about her, bro. No, bro, break it down, man. I want you tell me why you love my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause it's like, listen, I love your grandma. She's nice, but that's all, bro. Do you like Kamarakawa? Kamarakawa is very nice, but it only fits like 4 or 5 vibes out of the year. Coffee shop, by a fireplace at night, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know. You can't really, it's not a date night fragrance. It's not a playful casual fragrance. You know what I'm saying? It's a specific fragrance for a specific place and a specific time of the year. And because it's so heavy, you know, it's nuclear. It's nuclear sweet. Men need to tread with caution with nuclear sweet fragrances. And that's just how I'm coming. In your opinion, top 3. By the way, guys, for real, I'm leaving in 2 minutes. In your opinion, what's the top 3 niche and designer in or not in your collection? You know, Greenlee's gotten on me about this. I don't have one. My fragrances are my kids. Like, this is like maybe like 30% of my collection. Every one of those fragrances is getting worn this month. Every single fragrance over there is getting worn this month. Okay? That's how I'm coming. I don't rock fragrances back to back. I like to massage my collection. You know what I mean? I like to remind myself. I like to elaborate. I like to get intimate with my fragrances. Discover new things. You know, when I'm sitting here and off the top of the dome, I can just be like, yo, when you put Lalique a la Extreme under Armaf per show, you get Aventus Absolute 1-to-1. What allows me to say that is I have intimate experience with both. I wear each of them a lot. You know what I'm saying? When I say you can take a la Extreme and put it under about 70% of the fragrances in your collection to get a more masculine feel, I have intimate time with these fragrances. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's not a top 3. If there was a top, like for me, it's not top 3s of all time. It's like, what do I love this week? This week, I've got some fragrances that I absolutely love. So let me answer your question in a different way. Here's some fragrances I really love this week. Okay, so just this week, my standouts. Royal Blanc, Glorious Oud Royal Blanc French Avenue, Initio's Musk Therapy clone. 10 out of 10. Absolute killer musk. Just got Prosciutto in. I've been mixing Lalique, Encre Noir a la Extreme at a 2-to-1 and 1-to-1 ratio under Prosciutto to get more of a smoky birch Aventus Absolute. 10 out of 10. Fresh, clean wear. I wore this all day today. I probably sprayed it 20 times in total because it's so freaking light. I think it's an EET. Lalique White. One of the best combinations of like Lever 2000 or Irish Spring bar soap, white linen, citrus, slight, tiny, airy, aromatic aquatic with a touch of one of the smoothest combinations of peppercorn I've ever come across. Peppercorn, coriander, all that stuff. Amazing fresh, clean fragrance every day. Beats out like 90% of, I named a bunch of fragrances earlier, 90 Pure White, Coach Regular, Coach Platinum, Mont Blanc Skywalker, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, Mont Blanc Explorer, Invictus Platinum, Invictus Aqua, Banana Republic Arctic Slate, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Versace Homme. This beats out every single one convincingly. Another Lalique fragrance been blowing me away this week. I like this more than I like Parfums de Marly Layton. Absolute banger of a juice. 10 out of 10. The Lalique White, if I'm being honest, because of the performance, I knock it back, but I still give it like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10 in the clean, versatile category. Spice, floral, citric, zingy, clean as hell. Like, that's what I'm on this week. This week, that's what I'm on. And there was some more that I rocked, you know. I think I rocked Afro Leather. I think I rocked Bright Leather Ferragamo. Oh, here's another killer. Best Tom Ford Black Orchid clone. And this is actually, to me, better than Black Orchid itself. Zara Man. Oh my gosh. I wore this for my anniversary, or not my anniversary, my birthday dinner. We went out to this nice restaurant. This is insane. Nothing like this in your collection. Insane. But as you can see, like, I wear bangers. How could you choose? How could I choose just from that? I couldn't even make a top 3 from that lineup. Why does everybody think Green Extravaganza is the worst Valentino? It's not, but it's close. Born in Roma and standard Valentino Uomo Intense is better. That would be a crazy buy. Sounds interesting as well. What are your thoughts on Versace Pour Homme and Burberry London? Two completely different fragrances. Instead of Versace Homme, get this. Versace Homme is an excuse of a fresh fragrance. In 2025, Versace Homme is a cop-out fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Original is a cop-out fragrance. Get this instead. If you want to stay designer, go Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, go Dylan Blue. They annihilate Pour Homme. Burberry London, not the biggest fan. Instead, maybe go with the new Burberry Hero Parfum. Kind of smells like Dolce & Gabbana K EDT. But it's better than London, without question. The new Burberry Hero Parfum is quite nice. I'm just starting what should be my first purchase. I need it to be my... Disaster, how old are you? What is the best Parfums de Marly to get for niche? Oh, for your first niche, if you like masculine fresh. You need an everyday wear. Let me look. See, if you need an everyday wear, I tend to lean towards Sedley. If you need an every single day wear, I lean towards Sedley. If you say you have to be masculine fresh, like if that's the requirement, then I have to say Sedley. I don't want to say Sedley. It's not the best PDM, but masculine, fresh, everyday wear, you got to get Sedley. I think I'm going to try to decant Percival. You should decant Percival. Yeah, Joel's right, by the way, Jag. Listen to Joel. Sembobble, there's a new clone for Profumo that's cheaper than Socrat. The bottle looks 100 times better. I mean, even though Socrat is $20 on Amazon, no one's ever going to beat the price I paid for Socrat. I paid $11 for Socrat. You know, and you can't beat Profumo, or you can't beat Socrat. You can only match it. It's got great performance. It's spot on. You can only have a clone that meets it where it's at. But I got Socrat for $11. Nothing's beating that price. Greenlee, have you tried Greenlee, have you tried Greenlee DNA? How does it smell to you, Greenlee? Oh, that's hilarious. I don't like Greenlee. Which Lalique Equus you always talk about, the EDP or EDT? I'm about to cop. Good question. Let me... I always say Equus, but everybody's getting on my butt about it, so I gotta... Equus. I gotta tell you guys the correct way to pronounce it. EDP, bro. EDP. Yo, it's crazy. So Kicks, what I love about Equus, bro, is, so peep this, and make sure you get the horse. But what I love about this fragrance, bro, is it is so simple. It is, I believe, bergamot, some citrus up top, okay? Zingy, it's zingy citric top, right? And then it's simple, bro. The most warm amber, the most, like it's doing the most. Hot, warm amber and vetiver. Bro, I don't know why. For such a simple DNA, this is some of the most masculine utility use I've seen. And it's not fougere, bro. It's not fougere at all. It's very modern. It's almost exactly like Mancera's Amberful, but more mature. More mature. And then sometimes I wear this, and if I close my eyes, I gotta put this on a test strip. Good grief. What I love about this fragrance is like and you're gonna have to load up the sprays. That's another thing. Be ready to hit yourself like 10 times with Equus. Like straight stunting, no gas. Like go all in on this. Go 10 sprays off the bat. What I love about this is not only is the DNA so smooth, bro, but on skin, it almost feels like a much more zingy, like much less dialed back on the sweetness, like a brandy or something. Like it's got a very non-sugary dark liquor to it vibe, you know? That amber and vetiver, the vetiver earthy bite in the backdrop of so much warm, hot amber, and then the citrus. The citrus gives it this like spritz, not carbonation, but like a zing. And then the vetiver gives it like a earthy undertone of just like, you know, like just it raises your nostrils a bit, but it's not harsh at all. Not at all. This is one of the smoothest blends ever. So much amber in this, bro. Yo, like, oh my gosh, Equus is so good. Thoughts on Versace Dreamer ramen noodles? I have tried Greenlee. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd make it a signature just because of the name. That's hilarious. I'm not crazy about the scent. 2 apple shampoo, like that's the problem, bro. That's why I didn't like Bond Number 9's Greenwich Village or Lafayette Street. They were too synthetic, bro. It was like expensive synthetic. It was too, yeah, expensive synthetic. I didn't like it. This note of green that companies try to pull off, this green note, you know, Coach Green does it. Um, uh, it's either Night Vision, whatever the green fragrance is of Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb. The green note they use either comes out like sour apple suckers or like, I don't know. It's such a fake green, bro. It's such a fake green. And I think they do that because they don't, you know, when you go earthy green, you start leaning in like Eau Sauvage category and people don't want to make their fragrance smell old. But my gosh, bro, like the green they need to go for, and this is so crazy I'm saying this, but the green they need to go for is like a Banana Republic 78 vintage green. You know, they needed to put tea under it. That green note, we know it's synthetic from 78 vintage green. One of the best Banana Republics, 78 vintage green. One of the, it's a synthetic outdoors green note, but because they put the tea under it, the tea note, it just duffs off some of that synthetic, so it still pops, bro. But I don't know what they be doing, man. Good looking out. Yeah, Kicks, please let me know what you think about that frag, bro. So nice. I'm doing an entire review from Lalique because I now, well, actually, next week, Lin Sumi and Ombre Noir come in from Lalique, and then I'll have the entire collection minus Indigo. So we're gonna do a top 10 killers of Lalique, and Equus will be up there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there absolutely are. I mean, Mahir Legacy Silver is an incredible Sedley clone. Slightly less earthy, you know, similar to like Club de Nuit, how they always their fragrances have way more performance because it's a little more synthetic feeling. But Mahir Legacy Silver is a mojito on ice dripping on top of a sheet of metal. It's very Sedley. Aether is a Greenlee clone. It is, and it's a pretty good one too. But again, I don't like Greenlee's DNA. They push too much of this synthetic green that's just for a grown man hard to wrap your mind around. Like, I want earthy. I want, even if you give me synthetic green, I still want a slight touch of earthy in there so I'm not smelling like a Jolly Rancher. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they go Jolly Rancher so fast. I don't understand it. Do you think Versace will continue to add more flankers to the Eros line? Absolutely. Without question. Because you forget, they still got to do eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum. And now all these companies are starting to spin the block and say exclusive, absolute, extrait, you know, unlimited. Like, it's just dumb. They're going to find any way they can spin the block on existing fragrances and add new ones. You know, they have red, yellow, and blue right now. Next, they might do, so they hit the primary colors. Next, they might hit you with a purple or a green. I could see a green coming next. I want to get Mahir Black Edition. Omar, if you get Mahir Black, tread with caution, brother. Tread with caution. That thing is Indian. It is Middle Eastern as hell. It's like a Nag Champa incense, purely. I love it because it provides a more incensey take to the woods. But if you're looking for a cleaner woody, I need to do a fragrance episode which categorizes pure wood fragrances. Because the difference between something like The difference between these fragrances right here is night and day, but they're essentially the exact same DNAs. So Ancre Noir à la Extrême, Bentley for Men Absolute, and Mahir Legacy Black. All three of these fragrances are purely woody fragrances. The nuance is that this has a vanillic Middle Eastern incense thickness over it, like a dark cloud of Nag Champa and vanilla. But it's smoky still. This is more dry wood, like pencil shavings with a bit of cedar, and then the tiniest, more cleaner incense. It's more identical to a Profumo incense than Nag Champa. It's not Nag Champa at all. It's like just a very clean, it's almost like when you burn an incense in a room and then you go back in that room the next day, that smell is exactly what this smells like, but just a little bit fresher. So if you're looking for a much cleaner, smoky wood incense, you go with this. Mahir Legacy Black is a lot wetter, a lot denser, a little bit more vanillic. And then something like Ancre Noir à la Extrême is, to me, Chanel Sycamore with resins, but this is more resinous. So you're dealing with like, kind of like an epoxy wood floor, like when you maybe you make like a wood deck in your patio. So you install all the wood slabs and then you lacquer it with like an epoxy resin, like a warm, ambery, burnt wood after the fireplace kind of resin mixed with a very clean, sophisticated, slightly dense wood. This smells more like firewood. This smells more like clean incense, wood shavings, like flint or something. And this smells like wet, damp, Middle Eastern wood. So the difference in these three is incredible considering that they are like 90% straight wood fragrances. However, you know, these are some of the most challenging fragrances to work with if you're used to smelling designer fragrances because they are so woody, it's ridiculous. However, these are some of the best layering fragrances of all time, in my opinion. They masculinize any DNA with perfection. All right, guys, what are the last questions we have? I'm getting out of here. What do you got for me? What up, Fantastic Sense? Oh, what up? I don't know why I skipped over that. Everybody shout out Fantastic Sense, man. Appreciate you for being here, bro. We're signing off soon, but hey, man, give me a follow. Trust me, I'll earn it, man. We're talking fragrance in here, doing a Q&A. This is like the nightly lounge. Everybody's just kicking it, helping each other out in chat, listening to me be late on answering all these questions because I'm long-winded. What shady dupes should I stay away from? Stay away from most dupes in TJ Maxx that are out on display. Not the ones behind the glass. Most of the ones that are out on display. Dupe companies, I don't really know if I would take a crap on dupe companies. I think most dupe companies have something worth referencing. This is a great example. I did a fragrance battle only using fragrances that were under $12 with Chris Siage. And I did an iris theme. So I only mentioned fragrances with iris. We did Privé Illusion Intense, which I got for like $12. And it is insanely close to Dior Homme Intense. It's not even funny. It actually competes with Camaro Homme Intense, Cayenne Classic, all of which I have, and an insane value for your price. And this is just out and about in your local TJ Maxx for under $13. Gentleman Reserve Privé, Genius Gentleman. Another thing out on display at TJ. Insanely close iris-based dark, sweet, seductive fragrance, powdery, under $13 for 100 ml. I've never heard of this house at all. These are like the lowest of the low in terms of the clone market, but that competes with the latest 2024 release of Gentleman Reserve Privé. I think it's called like, they basically copied Reserve Privé. It's, you guys know the clone name. Somebody put it in chat. I know you guys, I've referenced it before, but I'm a little brain dead. It competes with the latest Reserve Privé clone that just came out. And then the other one, Valencia Uomo Intense, another fragrance that literally smells like Valentino Uomo Intense. Got that for $13 for 100 ml. That's insane. So I'm never quick to take a crap on a fragrance house, you know, like a Milestone Perfumes or something like that, because all of them are capable of putting out at least one absolute banger that people need to know about. Now that you have it, what do you think about Peugeot? Peugeot's excellent. I wasn't anticipating it being this fruity because so many people kind of, for hype reasons, said this was the closest thing to Aventus Absolute, which it is not. It's like 80%, not 90. To me, 90% or better is worth calling something valid. If it's below 90, typically it's a twist. However, because they ramp up the fruitiness instead of the birch, this just lacks woods and smokiness that Absolute Aventus has, which makes it more masculine, more classy, more able to dress it up. This projects more on the pineapple. It's more fruity. However, it is still one of the best renderings of Aventus DNA, period. And I think because they ramped up on the fruitiness, similar to what Versace did with Eros Energy, yellow bottle, right? That's an Aventus style DNA, but way more fruity zesty, or fruity sweet. This is better than Eros Energy, no question. It's denser, more complex, but again, they made it a fruitier Aventus, but just used better ingredients, so it smells better than Club de Nuit, L'Aventure, Alhermaine. Alhermaine is L'Aventure. Not only intense for men, you know, a lot of those Aventuses. However, this is what you need to know. If you want this to be Aventus Absolute 1-to-1, you have to, and I don't know any other way you can do this other than this combo, but you have to combo Ancre Noir a la Extreme with it. Smoky sycamore wood. You put this under this, you have Aventus Absolute in an unreal way. It will actually scare you. The resin, the amber resin, the smoky dry wood in this is the exact accord that Peugeot is missing from being Aventus Absolute 1-to-1. And so this already has incredible performance. This already gets an insane amount of compliments. This already is a great fragrance. But if you want to masculinize it and get it dead ringer to Aventus Absolute, you must combo it with this at a 1-to-1 ratio. So to me, typically, Peugeot, I might rock like 4 sprays conservatively, and that'll take me at least 8 hours. So if I was going 4 on that, I would actually dial back from 4 and go 2 sprays of Peugeot, maybe even 3. 1, 2, 3. But that's loud if you're indoors. But, and I'm a heavy sprayer. Y'all know I go 10 plus any day of the week. But that juice is so nice you don't really need to. But what I might do is either go 1, 2, and put La Extreme on the bottom. So 1, 2 a la Extreme, and then right over top of that 3, 4 with Peugeot. Or go 1, 2, 3. You know, you can go neck as well. So 1, 2, 3 for extreme, and then go 1, 2, 3 with that. But honestly, that's crazy. I'm a heavy sprayer, but 3 sprays of extreme and 3 sprays of Peugeot could borderline being nuclear. So unless you're out, if you're outdoors, that would be a great combo. Go 3 and 3. If you're indoors, go 2 and 2, and you have a Ventus Absolute to utter perfection. Simple, I know you really love Lalique, but why does no one else talk about the line? I don't hear about them ever. You know, the reason why is because, so it's interesting. When Lalique came out, and even to this day, if you go to the Lalique website, their fragrances retailed over $100. So if you buy them straight from the site, they are priced at designer level fragrances because it is a designer fragrance. Their fragrances typically go from $100 to $200 in pricing. So like if you grab Lalique White online right now directly from the retailer, it would cost you like somewhere between $100 and $150. And this is one of the weaker rated fragrances out of the entire line, even though I think it's one of the most incredible clean combo fragrances out there. However, they're priced like designer, but due to the name and the house, because Lalique deals outside of fragrance, they also deal in like, I don't know, like Tupperware and decor and all this random crap. They don't get a lot of promo in the fragrance space, even though the lady who is the perfumer has done a lot of mega popular designer fragrances that are out today. But I think a lot of the reason nobody talks about them is because a lot of the fragrances that get talked about today that are below like the $80 price point, number one, are typically clones, and Lalique is not a clone house. And number two, Lalique in discounters, just due to volume, has now price dropped in such a way where now their most expensive fragrance on their website, they still keep MSRP, but on discounter websites like Fragrance by CA, I think the most expensive Lalique fragrance is probably $50. Then it dropped. So Lalique Indigo, I think, is 50. Then Linsumi is 40. And then below that, all the other fragrances are 30, 35 and down to 20. So because they're that low, they kind of get looked at like clones. Every major fragrance guy, you know, Jensense, Chaos Fragrance, Bowtie, Equality, Big Beard, you know, all these guys, right? They all talk about Lalique, but for some reason, they give a couple episodes, you know, one long form review and then usually like a top 5 or a top 10 video for Lalique. And they were talking about these fragrances a long time ago. That's the problem. If you weren't in FragCom 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you would have never heard of these fragrances, even though there was a time and a place where people were hyping them up quite a bit. But here's the last point on why I think people don't talk about the House of Lalique. Because they're mature fragrances, right? Fragrances that mostly get talked about today are not niche fragrances, which typically tend to be more complex. And the reason why is because people can't afford them. And because most people watching the YouTubes are kids, teenagers through to about the $30 age point. So the sweet spot is somewhere between like 18 and 25 is where they're getting most of the viewership. What are 18-year-olds to 25-year-olds wearing? They're wearing Aventus DNA, they're wearing Spice Bomb DNA, they're wearing Gucci DNA, they're wearing YSL DNA, you know, they're wearing freaking fruity fragrances, JPG, the entire line. You know what I'm saying? They're not wearing Tom Ford. They're not wearing Mancera. They're not wearing Amouage. They're not wearing Parfums de Marly. They're not wearing Chanel. They're not wearing Frederic Malle. They're not wearing Initio. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not wearing Creed. The only way a lot of these kids are even getting into these fragrances are from the clones, but they've never smelled the original DNA, so oftentimes they got to go through a really long process before they even get to niche smelling stuff. So my point is with Lalique fragrances, these are somewhat complex DNAs comparatively to designer fragrances. You know, Lalique White, complex. Lalique White and Black is basically Leighton, which we can consider that niche DNA. Equus is an amber vetiver similar to Elysium, which is a niche fragrance. The entire Encre, this is actually a really good point. Another big reason Lalique's not talked about is because I don't know why, but for some odd reason, the fragrances that people choose to talk about from Lalique is the Encre Noir Trinity. So what do I mean? I mean Encre Noir Black, Encre Noir Sport, and Encre Noir a la Extreme. Those are the worst 3 fragrances in the entire Lalique line because they're extremely unique. They're not the most commercial renderings of vetiver, and they're highly circumstantial. One fragrance smells like a funeral home. The other fragrance smells like a bitter green aquatic shower. The other fragrance smells like burnt wood. That's not marketable. So a lot of people, when they first hear about Lalique and they go search it on YouTube, they're going to find tons of videos on the Encre Noir Trinity series, and they're going to get turned off immediately. They're going to buy one of the 3 fragrances. They're going to say, oh my God, this smells like burnt wood. This smells like bitter green grass. This smells like black ink. And they're going to get turned off. So people are promoting the wrong fragrances from the line in terms of commercial hype. So 1, they're more niche smelling. 2, they come from a house that makes more than fragrances and puts more marketing dollars into, you know, the other stuff they make, like cosmetics and decor and all this random crap. 3, the Encre Noir series buzz kills the entire line because people get into those fragrances who shouldn't and don't have mature noses and don't understand what they're getting into. And 3, a lot of the fragrances from the line are so old that FragCom really has had a surge in the last 2-3 years since the clone market has gone out of control. So pre-clone market, even though there are clones that are like 10 years old, you know, for instance, like La Yucawam and stuff like that, they've been around forever. Club de Nuit Intense Man is one of the very first original clones people took seriously. But pre all that is when Lalique as a house was even being talked about. So most of the new audience of FragCom has never even come across Lalique or even heard of Lalique because it's a thing of the past that, again, is a thing of the past. So there's a lot of different things going against Lalique. However, if you look at any of the popular fragrance channels and go in the history and look at their analysis of fragrances like Lalique White, Lalique White and Black, Equus, Indigo, and Ombre Noir, they'll tell you they're some of the best fragrances they've ever smelt at their price point. So that was a really long-winded answer. I'm going to clip that because that really should be a video in and of itself. But yeah, hopefully that answered everything for you. Just pick up discontinued Armani Sports. Have you ever tried it? An opinion on it? I have not, Joseph. I apologize. There's a CPL of Mont Blancs that have a Sedley or fierce vibes. Absolutely. Another thing that has a fierce vibe is, I mean, there's so many fierce dupes and inspirations. One that I came across recently was Ed Hardy's Skull and Roses or Skull and Bones. It looks like a black skull head. That is fierce DNA to a T. So there's so many fierce DNAs. There's so many, you know, Mont Blanc is essentially a clone house at this point. I think it's safe to say. There's only like 2 or 3 fragrances I would ever recommend from the Mont Blanc line because they're either too synthetic or they're cloning something that does it way better. So it's kind of a thing of the past. Back in the day, Mont Blanc used to be way more considerable because they were essentially doing what clone houses are doing now in mass copying DNAs, but nobody considers designer houses clone houses, but a lot of them are, you know? Designer houses were the first clone houses. People just don't talk about that. That's why when a lot of people take a crap on the clone market because they have a collection, it really bothers me because it's like, bro, like Versace Eros Flame Versace Eros Energy just came out, right? It's Aventus. Poorly done, might I add, in terms of closeness to Aventus, but they bit the Aventus DNA to a T. Why do we view them differently because it's Versace versus Club de Nuit from Armaf? They're doing this exact same freaking thing. So that bothers me. Mont Blanc has been copying DNAs before copying DNAs was even a thing. What are some of the most overrated fragrances out right now? Lattafa Atlas, easily. Tarathi Blue, easily. Afnan 9 p.m., easily. Club de Nuit Intense Man, easily. Club de Nuit Sillage, easily. Anything from Jean-Paul Gaultier minus Le Male Elixir and Paradise Garden minus Paradise Garden. LV Imagination, LV Lamentate, LV Pacific Chill, overhyped. Tygar, overhyped. I'm trying to bounce from niche and stuff like that. Red Tobacco from Mancera. Versace, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, regular, not intense. Versace Pour Homme. Rasasi Hawass, overhyped. Anything from the Jean Low line, overhyped. I was just spitting off the top of the dome right there. That should have been enough. I'm going brain dead right now. Since I'm new to the fragrance scene, I don't know if I should trust these influencers promoting some of these frags, especially if I'm blind buying. Absolutely. That's why you need to go to Sephora. You need to go to Ulta Beauty, and you need to smell all of their tester bottles. Get your nose on these DNAs, then hop your butt over to Fragrantica and on YouTube. If you need affordable fragrances, look up all the designer fragrances you like and start typing in clones. Dylan Blue clone, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit clone, YSLY clone, La Nuit de l'Homme clone, Gucci Guilty clone. And then once you see the clones that they're recommending, go on Fragrantica.com, type that clone in and see how many upvotes versus how many downvotes the fragrance got. So you can evaluate, oh, this fragrance has 3,000 upvotes and 20 downvotes. It's probably a really reliable take on the fragrance. So you take the YouTube review plus the Fragrantica voting system and you determine if it's worth pulling the trigger on. And you're kind of going to know what to expect because you already went to a store and put your nose to that style of DNA, so you can kind of know what to expect. You have the fans' votes, and then you've got the review. You put all that together, and you almost should never have to blind buy a fragrance with any lack of confidence. Is Bentley Absolute more smoky than Mahir Black? No. But it is smoky, but it's a very clean incense smoke. Mahir Black is a very wet, Middle Eastern Nag Champa incense smoke. Absolute is a much cleaner smoke, and it's not as incensey. It's a very clean incense. Like I said, it's like lighting an incense, leaving the room, and coming back a day later when the fan's on. That's the kind of whiff of Absolute you get. Whereas Mahir, it's very wet, rainy day, Middle Eastern Nag Champa incense lit, smoking hookah. A good Issey Miyake. Most Issey Miyake is great. Yeah, Lionheart is very close. Yeah, Rasasi already they are coming out with an elixir, and they just came out with fire and one other one. They're okay. How's Mahir Legacy? Which one? Do you like maple syrup? That's not me. Okay, I'm scrolling quick, guys. Okay, you ordered Scepter. Good job, Isaac. You're either going to love it or hate it, Isaac. The community is very split down the middle with Scepter Malachite. My scent of the day is Born in Roma Intense. Nice. My scent of the day was Lalique White. And I think I had to spray it 20 times today. 10-10. Lattafa Cade Intense, similar to the Gentleman Reserve Privé. A little bit. A little bit. Just got Club de Nuit Intense after owning L'Aventure. Smells more dry, slightly greener, bit more masculine. I can see that. My scent of the day is Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute. Very good fragrance. Very nice. I give it a 9 out of 10. Very good fragrance. Scent of the day, Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla. Okay, I see you. I see you. What can I help you with? Spice Bomb Extreme. Jag, let me help you out, bro. Spice Bomb Extreme. I wish I could put you on to more, buddy, but I can't right now. But if you have $20 on you, I would recommend hopping over to Amazon or fragrancebuy.ca for $20. Actually, wait a second. What's my middle of the door fragrance? Oh, I'm missing. I can actually put these away. Oh my gosh, what fragrance do I need to show him? Oh. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Man, I'm so glad I'm not so brain dead that I recommended the wrong fragrance just now. Okay, this is all you need, buddy. This is just a little bit more money than what you paid for the Cremo fragrance. Go mow a lawn or go, deliver a pizza or something. $20, Odyssey Homme Black Edition, okay? If you need Spice Bomb, just get this. This is actually better than Spice Bomb in my opinion. It sits between Tom Ford Noir Extreme and Spice Bomb. More Spice Bomb than Tom Ford. But this is all you need, buddy. $20 Odyssey Homme Black Edition, and you'll get your Spice Bomb Extreme. So go mow a lawn, go do your homework or something, get some allowance, and drop $20 on that and order it from fragrancebuy.ca. Very cheap pickup. You'll have your Spice Bomb. If it isn't Pre-Show, what's the best clone of Aventus Absolute? Dang, bro. Qatar, I have to say Pre-Show. Off-Non Supremacy Collector's Edition is a very, 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 very good Aventus DNA. But if you want Aventus Absolute, you have to take Pre-Show and mix Ancre Noir à l'Extrême to get Aventus Absolute. There's no singular fragrance that gets over 8.5 out of 10 closeness to Aventus Absolute. People are going to tell you Pre-Show does. People are going to tell you L'Aventure does. People are going to tell you Off-Non Supremacy Not Only Intense does, but they don't. People are going to tell you Nitro Black does, but it doesn't. You have to buy this fragrance, buddy. You have to. Buy this fragrance right here. Okay? Pre-Show and this equals Aventus Absolute. Perfectly 10 out of 10. Infinite performance. And what's nice about this combo is if you want to go more fruity, like a date night, you can just wear Pre-Show. If you want more masculine, woody, smoky birchiness to it to feel more manly, suit and tie, dressed really nice for work, you can put this under it. Or you can wear this by itself, because this is basically Chanel Sycamore. You have to go with that combo. If you want Aventus, again, I'm telling you perfectly, this is not like 95%. If you want Aventus Absolute, dead ringer perfect, you cannot go with any singular clone. You will not get Aventus Absolute above 90% with anything else out there. Everybody else just has not purchased Aventus Absolute. They're lying to you. You have to get this fragrance and put it under Pre-Show if you want exact Aventus Absolute. Otherwise, you can only get like 85 to 95% close, Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum, Off Non Supremacy Not Only Intense for Men, Al Haramain's L'Aventure. You can get about 85% close. But Pre-Show on its own is about 90%, and you have to put this under it to get there. You don't need to layer, Jag. Get Odyssey Own Black Edition. What's a fragrance that's great for spring? Oh my gosh, so many. Get Lattafa Sacrat. Lattafa Sacrat, Acqua di Gio Profumo. That's all you need for summer or spring. Yeah, Greenlee does. Greenlee's been typing out the combos like a madman. How do I know what goes together well, though? You can't. You have to smell a lot of fragrances, and you have to test a lot of fragrances to know what goes well. One of the biggest mistakes channels make on reviewing fragrances is not putting the fragrance on skin. There are some fragrances that do outstanding on clothes, but get eaten alive by skin and vice versa. And there's fragrances that when you put it on skin, they completely break down or they completely envelop and develop. And that's what people lack. They put stuff on test strip only. I test stuff on test strip on stream when you guys see the video live, but I've already worn the fragrance and put it on test strip before I do my episode because of that reason. There's been times where what you get on the test strip is not what you get in the bottle when you buy it. But you have to smell a lot of things to train your nose. Like I've literally put my nose to 500 fragrances this year, easily. That's why I can think of combos off the top of my head and be pretty close by the time I test them. I'm afraid that if some of these cheap frags use harmful chemicals, which makes me hesitant in buying them, am I overthinking it? Yes, you are. All fragrances use synthetic chemicals that have a certain level of toxicity. The reality is that if you're scared of toxicity, you should be scared of fragrance. If you wear, so there's two things you can do if you're scared of fragrance, because they all use synthetics and different concentrations of chemicals that long-term have harmful effects on organs and your skin. If you're really worried about that, there's two things you can do. One is you can look into essential oils or oil concentrates of a fragrance to work with more of an oil base. Two, you can apply lotion before you apply fragrance so that it sits on top of the skin and doesn't get absorbed by the skin, but that's 50-50. Or three, you could spray fragrance on clothes instead of on skin and deal with the lesser performance. Another thing is don't spray on the neck. One of the worst things you can ever do when applying fragrance is spray it on the neck, because even though they're incredible pulse points, that's also where your thyroid gland is. And the thyroid is extremely negatively affected by the absorption of fragrance in the neck area. There's so many times I want to spray my shoulders and my neck or my back of my neck, and it will wreck you long-term with your thyroid gland. So spray down. You want to use your arms? Cool. You want to use your chest? Cool. You want to use behind the knee? Cool. If you don't want to do any of that, just spray clothes. Maybe try going into oil concentrates instead of the alcohol base. Buying a better fragrance doesn't always guarantee better use of chemicals, because they might be better, but to what extent we do not know. They don't list the chemical compounds in great detail and as far as the ratio. So there might be a particular chemical that's ruining the entire fragrance for you from a toxicity standpoint, but they're not going to give you the ratio. So you wouldn't even truly know. You can only use general preventative measures in fragrance. Otherwise, also shower. You know what I'm saying? Don't wear a fragrance to bed, which I know a lot of my friends do. It's dumb. Shower, have good hygiene, apply appropriately, be healthy, drink fluids, be a healthy eater. All things like this will help you to kind of circumvent a lot of the toxicity issues with lesser formulations and stuff like that. But it's all synthetic, it's all chemical. None of it's good being absorbed in the skin. It's not nutrient dense. We're dealing with oils and alcohol, so just take that with a grain of salt. What do you think of Lalique Pour Homme the Lion? It's very fougere. It's very good, and I have it, but it's very classic fougere. I call it a timeless fougere, but to the average nose, it'll feel classic fougere, but just richer. So if you like that, get it. Okay. Yeah, if you like Eros Energy, you will love Armaf Per Show, and it's $40 cheaper. Yeah. Energy got the rating that it got because it's copying so much. Nice, Smurf. Top 3 Hugo Boss fragrances, including the OG. That's a tough one. I'd have to think about that one. Wouldn't Bulgari Man in Black with Mercedes-Benz Club Black do a great Spice Bomb Extreme? That could be a good layering combo. Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Okay, vanilla and spices. And wait, Bulgari Man in Black with Mercedes-Benz. It would, Joel, but the problem with that is Man in Black has 8 to 10 hours of performance, and so does Club Black. So it might smell pretty darn close to like actually a nice expensive rendition, maybe a more expensive smelling Spice Bomb. However, you do run the risk of being a nuclear bomb of walking fragrance. So I think if you tried that layering combo, which my Bulgari comes in on Friday, so day after tomorrow. If you did do that, you would have to do like 2 sprays total, like 1 spray of each, at the most 2 sprays of each. Otherwise, you're going to basically set yourself on fire. Absolutely, Jag. How far am I from the bottom? Oh, I'm close. Thank you, Greenlee, for helping Leon. No, Fragrantica is often wrong. Somebody sent me a really good breakdown of Fragrantica. There's like 4 scenarios. They're either totally right, totally wrong, kind of right, or are missing notes that the actual house lists when you buy the fragrance. And I'm going to do an episode on that. Like, things you need to know when using Fragrantica. But I don't really use the note breakdown as much. I do it for the channel, but not as much for personal use. I mainly like to use the voting section, what people have actually said who have bought the fragrance, as far as if it's good or not. And I use the, if you like this, you'll probably like that section. Or like, if you like these notes, explore these fragrances. That's why I use Fragrantica. Another reason I use Fragrantica is to keep a running collection of my entire collection. Your most attention getters, top 2. This week, the highest attention getters was Zara Man, Tom Ford Black Orchid clone. To me, it's better than Tom Ford Black Orchid by about 15%. Another big complimenter, Nishio's Musk Therapy, but this is French Avenue's Royal Blanc Glorious Oud. Big compliments this week from that. Another one I got mad compliments from was Prichot and Lalique Encre Noir a la Extreme combo. The most compliments this week was from Armaf Prichot. I think I got 4 or 5 compliments with that combo. Prichot mixed with a la Extreme. I got like 4 or 5 compliments and I got like 10 head turns where like I walked by somebody and the girl as I passed went like this. Like the sillage was just like put a hook in her jaw and was like, what are you getting the neck info from? Oh man, you can look into it, man. Like you can look into fragrance toxicity. Like you could just do a simple Google search. Does fragrance negatively affect the thyroid gland? And you'll find a mess of research on it. The thyroid gland is sits right here and it wraps around your esophagus kind of like a butterfly. Like picture a butterfly opening its wings. It wraps itself around a thyroid gland and it's very vital. It's almost as vital as your adrenal glands. And it affects a lot of different processes, the breaking down of calcium, the production of calcium, filtration in the body, a ton of stuff, and energy, hormones, different stuff, a ton of stuff. I'm not a doctor, but I do research into this stuff because I'm really big into herbal naturopathic medicine. And so I just happened to stumble across it. And there's certain websites you can go to where you can look up certain chemicals in fragrance and see what their toxicity ratings are and stuff like that. So I'm a real nerd with it, but definitely look into it. You'll find some interesting research on fragrance absorption in the skin, particularly in the thyroid gland, simply because people spray their neck so much. But, you know, if you spray it around the heart or certain things, like it's better to spray it on limbs than like the organ area of the body in terms of direct skin application. But we're being nerdy here, guys. I'm just trying to give you guys helpful information. Prichot is like $65 on Joma, and Eros Energy is cheaper. No, it's not. You're just looking at a 50 ml of Eros to justify that price downgrade. 100 ml of Eros Energy is more. But Prichot is not $65. Prichot is $40. And you really shouldn't shop on Joma Shop. Joma Shop is one of the biggest scam sites of all time. And they scam you legally. That's the hard part. Yeah. Joma Shop, though they have good deals, it is a dice roll when ordering from that website. Get Prichot on fragrancebuy.ca and you'll get it for about $41. And that's, now granted, Prichot is a 55 ml, so I guess I can't say much. Any other clone would be $100 you'd get for any price point there, but I guess comparatively, you know, I'll do the quick research for you. I can't believe you guys keep me up all night. Yeah, so if we're using Joma Shop, Eros Energy 50 ml is $63. You can get a 100 ml tester for $65, which is actually a great deal. But it's still $25 more than Prichot. You know what I'm saying? Comparatively, Prichot, you get 55 ml at $41, and you get Eros at 50 ml, so 5 less ml for $63. So it's a $22 price hike for 5 ml less juice. No, Jag. Nah, bro. Clone, designer in name alone, especially today in 2025 more than ever, designer does not have a hierarchy in quality, performance, and smell over clones. That's just not the case anymore. I have clones that beat $300-400 niche fragrances. Amir Celestial is one of them. You look up Marc Antoine whatever Ganymede at Neiman's and it's priced at like $300-400-500. Amir Celestial is a $20 fragrance that absolutely crushes it. So no, just because Versace makes Eros Energy, that does not by default make it a better fragrance than Middle Eastern Armaf from the United Arab Emirates. And you'll notice that comparatively when you smell the two, Eros will actually smell like the clone and Prosciutto will actually smell like the Versace. It's actually quite weird. But Eros' Energy is a good fragrance. But I'm telling you, it's not better than Prosciutto in any regard. I haven't tried Dunhill. It is an extrait de parfum. I have to get a fragrance which smells like Dunhill custom mixed with better performance. Somebody help him out if you know an option. Joel, maybe. Celestial or Glorious Oud Royal Blanc for first blind buy. Glorious Oud. Glorious Stinky Buds. Okay, gotcha. Celestial is a unique fragrance. You know, think Tom Ford Oud Wood, mineralic, suede, white floral. That's a unique DNA if you're starting your collection. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some nuts on you to rock that fragrance. Even though it's a beautiful fragrance, it's a more, what people would call more of a challenging wear because it's a character piece. Glorious Oud Royal Blanc is literally one of the best musk fragrances of all time. Any season, any reason, any time, any place, just smells incredible. You'll absolutely love wearing that fragrance any and all the time. Celestial is my favorite fragrance over the two, but I'm a very particular kind of guy, and they're very close. But the political answer is that musk therapy is a much more commercial DNA than Ganymede. So I have to recommend Royal Blanc. Listen, man, to me, this fragrance is 10 out of 10. That's all you need to know. So get this fragrance first. Let me know how you think about my recommendation. Truthfully, you can tell me if you don't like it, but I highly doubt you will have that sentiment. But truly tell me what you feel about it. And if I've made a good judgment call, then I'll recommend you in a different direction. But Amir Celestial oftentimes is not an introductory level fragrance for people. There's a lot more mass appealing DNAs you need to walk through first, even at a niche level, before you arrive at Ganymede and start playing with that. Highly unique. Yeah, Sloma shop, absolutely. No, listen, you know, you're not wrong, Jag. Prosciutto on Joma is going to be more expensive, but nobody buys fragrance, especially clones, on Joma. Like, just go to a different website and you find it way cheaper. Trust me, Prosciutto is $41 right now on Fragrance Buy. I don't even have to look at the site. You'll find it. But I was just using Joma Shop because you were using Joma Shop. On Joma Shop, even Eros Energy for a half of a bottle is $63. Just go to Fragrance Buy. You're going to get Prosciutto for $41. We don't even need to argue about Joma. Don't shop on Joma or Sloma. Have you tried Cremo? Yes, I've tried plenty of Cremo. Not a big fan. Even though they smell richer than shower gel, but you know, they're cheap. I love Amir Celestial, but I only get 3-4 hours of performance. How many times you spraying, Milton? Under 6 times, I'm sure. Appreciate you, Smurf. How long ago did you buy? Okay, yeah. Even community ratings on Fragrantica will sometimes expose a better clone than an original. Absolutely they will. Oh, finally at the bottom. Thank God. Okay, guys. Last minute and I'm signing off, and I'm not lying this time. For instance, the Kingdom and Lamal Elixir. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, Kingdom is nice. To me, Halloween Man Shot is better than Kingdom. Especially, it's a designer. But Kingdom is... I always recommend Kingdom over Halloween Shot because no one can find Halloween Man Shot. Is Latafa Badi Al-Oud Honor and Glory good? Nah. People say it is, but the type of man I am, you know. Here's the thing, man. It's a great value for price, but if you like smelling really sweet and like desserts, then it's a great fragrance. You know, it's got a white floral, and I think the dessert that they make with it is either creme brulee or it's either creme brulee. Somebody help me out. What is the star dessert note in Honor and Glory? It's like creme brulee or what's the other one? Am I right in that it's a creme brulee note? What is the dessert? Yes, Jag. Not sponsorships, but frags. Yeah, creme brulee. So, you know, just think about that. You know, super sweet, sugary creme brulee and white powdery florals. Fresh. Is that what you want to smell like? I just don't see a lot of utility in that. You know, maybe you can wear that for Christmas and your mom's going to tell you you smell like sugar cookies or something. But that's just... Do I look like I want to smell like creme brulee? For real. Look at my face. Does it look like you walk by me on the street and I'm going to smell like creme brulee? I can't, Smurf. I can't, bro. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate you. Hey, listen, shout outs to Kix, shout outs Novice Nose, shout out Trey. Shout out all of you guys. Shout out Greenlee for impeccable transcriptions and relaying of important information. Shout outs to Joel for always being super helpful in recommendations, as well as all of you guys. You guys make good recommendations, but Joel is different. He's always he has a very extensive collection in his brain and on his shelf. So he's able to give really good nuances and stuff. Hey, listen, I hope you guys found value in this. I don't know why you guys always get me to go live for like 2-3 hours. It's insane. I shouldn't. But I hope you guys found value. If you're new to the channel, please follow. You will get tons of value. Hope you guys have a blessed week. We've got a ton of insane content dropping this week, so please tune in and stay locked. I've got like 15 new fragrances coming in the mail. Every day I get like 2-3 new fragrances coming in, and then we're going to stop and go niche only for like probably till June. We're going to go straight niche only for as far as bottle purchases. You know, I've got my eye on a couple things I need to just lock in for, but yeah. Yeah, we'll come back to it, Smurf. Absolutely. Or if you want, copy paste your question into the comment section of this video, and I'll reply to it tomorrow afternoon with a triple ranking. But love you guys, man. Have a blessed week. This is the Scent Bubble. Peace.